I think that at this point in the world, we can all agree that shit is fucked up. What exactly that means to each of us might differ, but the thought that the world could use improving or healing at this point seems pretty sane. We're all kind of looking around, trying to identify what's broken, what we need to do to fix it. But what if we could change the world just by paragliding? Is it possible? I think it is. I'm going to tell you all about it. Here we go. See ya.
I'm paragliding! See ya!
Hey, this is Ari in the Air. Welcome back to the channel. So stoked you're here. So, if you like this channel and you want to support it, consider becoming a patron.
Come again?
Consider becoming a patron on Patreon. That's patreon.com/ariintheair, or donate at paypal.me/ariintheair. I really appreciate that. That makes the whole thing go around. So, let's get into this. First, I think we got to acknowledge what a monumental task it is to change the world. It seems impossible. There's like a million different tribes, and they're all just like armed to the teeth with ideologies and guns, and everyone is just in a fervor, and their nervous system is so on edge right now. It just seems like you'd have to be crazy to step into this kind of battlefield willingly, right? Wanting to change the world is such a lofty goal. It would take someone with a huge amount of courage and even a bit of stupidity to undertake. But luckily, we've got paraglide pilots.
What an idiot!
But seriously, as paraglide pilots, we are the perfect candidates for transformation because we've been seeking this shit out in our lives. And we have been building up the courage to do these things against all odds. At some point in our lives, we were like, no, I don't want the safety of being on the ground. I want to become competent. I want to grow. I don't need all the safety. I'm willing to expose myself to the risks. I want to fly. I want to practice being courageous. I want to master something in the face of danger. And thank God, we're not fools for doing this stuff, although we can be quite foolish. But at the heart of it, we're trying to grow beyond our own limitations. We are trying to be in tune with nature and reality in a way most people can't even imagine. We are trying to transcend our existence as terrestrial bipeds and unlock an entire another dimension of experience. And fuck yeah! I mean, these are some of the best desires out there. We know that the more we learn and the more we grow, the higher and further we can go. This is why we're the perfect candidates for transformation, because we have been practicing being courageous in the face of danger. We have practiced tempering our desires to what is possible and to be in tune with the things that are very complex and invisible and nuanced. We have been practicing listening to the cues of nature and reality. We have been building communities and working together. Sometimes we do that, not always. We have already been using paragliding as a tool for transformation. And as we use this tool to transform ourselves and our lives, we change the world inherently. And this is one of the perspectives that we have to embrace if we're to do this. This is the perspective that I am the world and the world is me. The idea that we have to get away from now is that if the world is fucked up, it's fucked up outside of myself. And that I need to point to the libtards or the Trump supporters or the Chinese.
What kind of place is this?
Or whatever it is outside of ourselves that needs to be fixed because there's somehow a barrier between us and the world. We have to break that barrier down. We are the world. we have to fully embrace this. And the more we embrace this reality, the more useful we will inherently be. And the thing is that as you change yourself as a means to change the world, you have to realize that you are just a node in a network. You're not just one piece of dust among 7 billion. You're a node in a network. And maybe you know 1,000 people, which puts you one person away from 1 million people and 2 people away from 1 billion people. And it's really important that you never underestimate your power to lead by example, because people are affected by each other. And you have to remember this. You have to remember that your ability to enact change in the world is your ability to enact change in yourself, because you lead by example and you can raise the vibration, you can raise the bar, you can raise the level of behavior that's expected of people in the world.
Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing.
There's also this idea that if we're going to use paragliding to change the world, we should do it in the direction of good and not using paraglide to just further fuck up the world. This is kind of something I've been talking about here, because I think that if we used paragliding just merely marketing, we could kind of fuck up the world, because we would give people basically a syringe and a needle to inject something that might not be healthy for them, as opposed to using paragliding as a tool to fulfill us and to build us up and to help us see the world and think more clearly and all these good things, right? So I think that it's important to define what good might be here. I think that we all have a very unique role in this, right? In the last video, I kind of talked about our dharma, what our unique path is. And I think that what we're trying to go for here is we are trying to live in a way that optimally heals and empowers ourselves, each other, and the world. We are trying to live in a way that doesn't do harm, but rather brings about the most health, wholeness, consciousness, and quality of life for everyone everywhere, which is a really hard thing to conceptualize, but it's a really high goal to aim for. It's a high goal that takes a lot of courage to even imagine and to aim at, and luckily here we are as courageous people. The paragliding community around the world is so incredibly potent. Last month, Kiwi went missing in Nevada, and pretty much overnight, we had hundreds of thousands of dollars. We had helicopters, helicopter pilots. We had the best search and rescue people. We had satellites and computer programmers. The ability for the network that is paragliding pilots to come together and make drastic changes, have amazing impacts on the world and on people's lives, is proven time and time again. So if you think that this is all just bullshit, then you should look back at some of the times where the paragliding community comes together. Reimagine what we're capable of as a community in the world. And don't forget, you are just a node in that community. And you have an incredible power to lead by example inside of that network. I hope this is helpful for you. I hope this is inspiring. If you like this kind of shit, make sure you subscribe. Support me on Patreon. Donate to paypal.me/ariintheair. Share this with your friends. I really appreciate it. I'd also love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, whether you like the pan flute music or not. YouTube comment section, you know? But yeah, you guys fly safe. Keep on keeping on. We'll see you on the next episode.
I think we'll call that one done. From all of us here, happy painting. God bless.